Well, the time is just gone 4:33 p.m. Right here in Johannesburg as we continue with the broadcast on Salam Media on the Iftar Drive. And I will be with you right around a quarter to six before we hand you over to Maulana Yunus Kawanga, who will take you through to the time of Iftar in Johannesburg at around 20 past 6. But right now, we're going across to be joined by Tahira Saloojee, who is the Communications and Relationship Officer at Ashraful Aid. And she will be providing us with an insight into their Zakat and local volunteer initiatives. And there are many. And it is during this time of the year when many people discharge their obligation of Zakat and also together with Fidya for those who call, and Fitrah as well. All of this at the end of the day, and we know that the need of the hour is very, very great, right across the entire world, and more importantly, even in Palestine. So, Sister Tahira, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and Jazakallah for having me on.
Yes, we say Jazakallah to you for your time and trust and hope that you're having a wonderful Ramadan, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes. Now, Tahira, just looking at Ashraful Aid, and we know, like many other organizations, Ramadan is a very, very, a special time for many organizations, and this is where we find that many people obviously stepping up, taking things to another level. We know many, many people discharge their zakah in the month of Ramadan, or they prefer to discharge their zakah in the month of Ramadan. And it's actually a very, very busy period. And I'm sure Ashraful Aid, not only now during the month of Ramadan, but well in the build up to Ramadan, preparing for the month of Ramadan to do what Ashraful Aid does best in terms of the various projects and in terms of getting, all your projects on the go.
Yeah, so Alhamdulillah, like you did mention, Ramadan is the busiest time, especially for any humanitarian aid organization. Thing is, I think one of the things that maybe get to us is, one of the reasons why we also become so busy is that one of the objectives actually of Ramadan being that we are all fasting, and fasting creates a very unique perspective of understanding within the soul of every person as to what those who don't have suffer on a daily basis. So it opens up our hearts a little bit more, which makes us a lot busier. But Alhamdulillah, as humanitarian aid organizations, I think I can say, and I think I'm pretty sure I speak on behalf of everyone, that we embrace the busyness, and it's a busyness that fills our hearts, because I always tell my family that this is a type of work that is very much related to, it's hard work. It's never a place where it's, I have to work. It's more like I get to work for the reason that that with whichever part or whichever role you're playing in the organization, you could be doing something as simply as being the security at the gate, or you could be someone who's doing a graphic. It doesn't matter which aspect of it you're involved in. At the end of the day, you have that feeling in your heart that what I've done has served to go towards making a difference for someone else. And then all of that being said, none of it can be done without you, without our listeners, the listeners who are listening to us, without our donors, because all of it comes from us. And the magical part of it, and the most amazing part of it that I'd like to also mention, is that it shows the collective power of the Muslim Ummah, that as single people, we can go out and we can make a difference. And yes, we'll be able to assist people. But when we pool our resources and we come together in unity with one objective in mind, the impact that we can have is that much more huge and that much more greater. So our zakat, when you donate your zakat to an organization, to Ashraful Aid, as mentioned, I heard you played our ad previously, where the mention is made that our zakat is externally seen by a Sharia board, but added to that, we have our database of recipients of zakat, and all of the checks and balances are done. Now, as a single person giving out my zakat, whether I be a housewife, whether I be a businessman, whether I be a small business owner, whether I be an entrepreneur, or even just an average person who maybe has the nisab, I can go out and I can give my zakat as one person and it will make an impact. But I would like to direct our listeners' attention to the past. Let's go into the time of Sahaba, where Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam created, or where they had what was known as the Baytul Mal. Now, I know everybody has this vague understanding and idea that, okay, they had the Baytul Mal, etc., whatever it is. But the impact or the effect of having the Baytul Mal was, it was the synergy of the Muslim Ummah, where they had people who would go out and collect the zakat from the Muslims around the country. So basically what we are doing as humanitarian agents, and collect the zakat from everyone, bring it together to one central Baytul Mal, and then utilize it in the way where it can have the greatest impact and cause the greatest benefit to humankind. And when it comes to zakat, obviously to the Muslim recipients at large. So Alhamdulillah, when you donate your zakat to Ashraful Aid, you can be rest assured that your zakat becomes a collective with many, many others. Another very interesting point that I would like to mention and bring up is that as a Muslim, when we're giving our zakat, when we're doing any action, we always taught that we should have hope and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our action. And one of the benefits of doing things in a collective is that my effort might be a little bit lax and it might be a little bit less, but because of the sincerity of the person next to me, reading salah, for example, my salah would be accepted as a whole. So by us donating our zakat to Ashraful Aid and putting it together with a collective, we don't know if ours was necessarily going to be accepted, but when it's put in a collective, we are multiplying our chances of the acceptance by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and multiplying the effects of that. So that would just be for any charity. I'm mentioning specifically zakat because it's one of the bigger projects at the moment, alhamdulillah, with Ashraful Aid. We also have our iftar programs, iftar feeding, which goes throughout South Africa as well as overseas. In South Africa, you can sponsor a DAG which feeds approximately 100 to over 100 fasting people. And again, remembering the rewards you can gain for every single person who eats, who breaks, every single fasting person who breaks their fast and eats from there, as well as whatever worship and ibadat they do through the nourishment of eating that, you get the reward of that. So a dag is just around 2,500 rands, and there's many, many other initiatives like that. Now, I know we are in the holiday period. Many schools have already closed yesterday. Today is Human Rights Day, so most have closed yesterday. Some are, however, closing tomorrow. So one of the biggest things is it's now Ramadan. The kids are tired because they're fasting, so they don't necessarily want to go and play outside. I mean, I don't know if kids even play outside anymore. I know that's what we used to do when we were younger. Maybe they sit inside. But either way, what do we do? How can we channel our efforts? How can we channel the energies of our siblings, our children, whoever it is, in a positive, in an engaging, in a rewarding manner this Ramadan? So yes, we're going to read our salah, we're going to read our Quran, we're going to do all of those things. But Ashraful Aid has a very robust volunteer program. And our volunteer program runs across all of the provinces, wherever we have offices spanning Cape Town, Lenasia, Azadville, KZN, Marlborough, etc. If you just visit our website and keep an eye on our social media, you'll be able to see all of that. So from our volunteer programs, we invite you to bring your children along, and let them be a part of the packing, whether it's the packing of sweets or the packing and preparing of meals, whether it's a massive iftar in Cape Town, whether it's packaging or making of hot dogs in Durban. It differs across the different places, but allow them to come be a part and spend a couple hours of their time in physically attaching themselves to their charity, in realizing that we as a Muslim Ummah are collective. We cannot exist without each other, and we need to come together with each other in times of need. And with Palestine so close to our heart as well, iftar meals, our aid in Palestine is ongoing. Ashraful Aid has had a presence in Palestine for good few years now. So our teams are constantly doing the work. So with Palestine at the forefront, we might not all be able to be there physically to be able to do the things, but what we can do is do it here in our hometown, on our grounds. We can allow them to do that. And the other benefit from that is if you've got high schoolers, Ashraful Aid will be able to issue you certificates of community service for the hours that they've spent, which will inshallah go towards assisting them in their further applications of their academic career, inshallah.
Well, inshallah. In fact, I know you've got to rush, Sister Tahira. We've covered just so much ground in the last few minutes, and you've given quite a comprehensive account. But just looking at obviously people wanting to donate, because I know we speak about Zakat and we know Fidya as well. We've got Fitrah, Fitrah coming up as well, Fitrah as well. All of this will obviously happen during this month of Ramadan over the next 2-3 weeks or so, inshallah. And just for people wanting to contribute, who do they contact? What do they need to do?
Okay, so Alhamdulillah, we've made it very, very easy, very user-friendly. You can have a myriad of options in front of you. So you can just visit our website. It's www.ashrafulaid.org. I've been told that's the part that makes people slip up. It's not .com, it's not .co.za, it's .org. Once you go there, it's you can basically use your credit card or your debit card, do it like your online shopping. You can donate your Fitrah, you can donate Fidya if necessary, you can donate your Zakat. As you go through the process, it's basically like checking out on any online website. You're welcome to drop by any of our offices. The locations of all of our offices are also very freely and easily visible on our website. If you go to any of your social media platforms, you just look at Ashraful Aid. You will find tons of graphics there. And then we also have on our website a Zakat calculator. The Zakat calculator will assist you in calculating your Zakat. You just put in whatever it is you have. It automatically does the calculation. Once you've done that, it will then, and it's being updated with current values every week. So you will have a very accurate representation of your Zakat. And from there, you go from there. So Alhamdulillah, I would advise that the best thing to do is visit our website or to have a look at our social media, inshallah.
Inshallah. Khairan so much for that. I know it's been a busy period for you as well, Sister Tahira, and for everybody else at Ashraful Aid. Inshallah, Allah Ta'ala accept, Allah reward all your efforts. And, I always say it's through organizations like yourself, like Ashraful Aid, that actually make it just so much easier for people to actually discharge their obligations, because we don't know sometimes, who to give, when to give, how to give as well. And these organizations like yourself, inshallah, that, we are able to do what we can, and more importantly, even discharging this very, very important pillar of Islam, which is the pillar of Zakat. So we wish you well. We wish everybody else at Ashraful Aid well as well. And please continue with the good work, and remember us in your du'as, inshallah.
Ameen. You as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tahira Saloojee with us this afternoon with Ashraful Aid. And there you have it. Go onto their website, go onto their social media pages. There's just a wealth of information that you can get. And more importantly, let us do what we have to and fulfill the rights of our fellow human beings. And this is exactly what many organizations like Ashraful Aid do. They assist us in judging our responsibilities, our obligations, and fulfilling the rights of those who have got much less than us. We're heading for the break, but before we get there, to remind you again about Emergivac Sharia, which is South Africa's first and only fully Sharia compliant family medical takaful and wellness, and they wish all our listeners Ramadan Kareem. So, and to get to know more, you need to download the Emergivac app today and get free immediate access to Emergivac Sharia collection of du'as, hadith, Quran, and much, much more. We take a for an air break. We'll be back.